You wanted the best, you got the best. So today I'm going to continue our 5 songs to start with series with the band Kiss. And for this series, we oftentimes will feel free to include as many hits as we want because, if you haven't somehow heard these songs or you're a fan of the band, a lot of times the hits might be the place that you tell someone to go back and start with. And so for Kiss, they span several decades, many different genres of music included in what they've done. And I did include a couple of their big hits in here, but I also included some other stuff that I think that maybe if you have heard of Kiss, you haven't heard of these other songs, and they might do other types of things that you haven't heard before. So if someone were to come to me and say, hey, what's the first 5 songs I should listen to by Kiss? I would start them off with Detroit Rock City from Destroyer. It's cool that I'm from Detroit. Kiss is not from Detroit, but being from Detroit, we always thought that was really cool, but it doesn't matter. You could insert any city you want to in the name of that song, and it's just a great rock song all the way across the board that really, I think, showcases what Kiss did in that era to make them such a big deal. The next one I would tell you to move on to past that goes directly out of their first era into their first lineup change. From Creatures of the Night, the song I Love It Loud. To anybody who came along and heard stuff like I Was Made for Loving You or Beth or anything lighter that Kiss did, I Love It Loud really shows not only that they were capable of rock and hard, but what they were about to do for most of the 80s is kind of showcased right there on that song, I Love It Loud. Going further into the 80s, another lineup change that's kind of the deal with Kiss really is lineup changes and whatnot. But from their album Animalize, the next song I would tell you to listen to is Heaven's on Fire. Again, I've made no secret of I love that era of metal and rock. And I just think that Kiss came along and joined up with that era really, really well with Heaven's on Fire. It was really a song that I was surprised that they even did at the time. But even genre jumping right over to quote unquote hair metal, they did it great in my opinion. So that's the third one. Now the next 2 songs on the list, rounding out the 5 that I would tell you to listen to first, are back to that hard rock and even a little alternative. One of my favorite Kiss records across the board is the album Revenge, and the song Unholy from that album to me is kind of like I Love It Loud, but even harder rock than that. I feel like Kiss really went harder rock for that era, and I love it. Revenge gets a lot of respect among Kiss fandom, but I don't really think the song Unholy gets any respect that it deserves, so I would tell you that's one of the first ones that you should check out. The last song that I would tell you to listen to is probably an album that most fans of Kiss that are casual fans have never even heard of, and is probably pretty divisive amongst most Kiss fans. And that's an album called Carnival of Souls. And there's a song called Rain on there that the easiest way for me to describe this before you hit the link in the description and check out the song is if Kiss made grunge or alternative music, that's what this song sounds like. And the album as a whole, really. But I would include it in this because if you've heard some of those other Kiss songs that I've mentioned, but you've never heard them do like the alternative or grunge genre, you should definitely check it out. And even if you're a Kiss fan and you don't like that album, I would tell you to go back and check it out again. So those are 5 songs from Kiss that I would tell you to start with if you're a casual fan at best, or you maybe have never even heard much of what Kiss does. Hit the links in the description, listen to all the songs, let us know what you think. And if you're a longtime Kiss fan, tell us what you would tell people to start with if they're different from my picks. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.